60 days ago, I decided to create a brand new Legion champion character from level 0, and if you'd have told me the amount of progression that I would have been able to make within these 60 days, I would have told you you are absolutely out of your mind. Within these 60 days, I've absolutely surprised myself with the amount of progression that can be made in a brand new character. On day 1, we were able to solo hard Lotus. On day 2, we were able to solo hard Damien. By week 2, we were able to solo some of the most difficult bosses within the mid game, and by month 1 we are able to solo the entirety of C10. And in today's video, we're going to be taking on our most difficult challenge yet, and that is going to be defeating Black Mage. Black Mage has been one of the most difficult bosses to defeat in the game since release, and this has been one of the most iconic bosses to be able to solo in the game. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to actually take on this challenge, but I was dedicated to push my character as far as I could within these 60 days to see how far you could actually progress a character. In the last episode, we had quite a few easy gains to make. We were sitting on 2 set Golux and 3 set Arcanes, and I knew that that was going to be a lot of easy damage to gain. So since the last progression episode, we did make those gains. We are now currently sitting at 4 set Arcanes, and we are now currently sitting at 3 set Golux. We are fortunate enough to 22 the Superior Ring and the Superior Golux Pendant on this 0 without booming a single one. Unfortunately, we have not seen a belt drop yet, but that is going to come in the near future. Since the last progression episode, like I said before, we have been able to solo the entirety of C10. So while we've been soloing the entirety of C10, this character since creation has been extremely lucky, and that RNG did not slow down at all. On our second Vihilla run, we were able to actually get a source drop, which is absolutely insane considering I've been running Vihilla on my main for over 3 years now, and I've only seen 1 source drop. And on the second ever solo, this 0 got a source drop, which is just insane to me. Until we're able to get enough coins for another Superior Pendant, we will be leaving this at 17 stars just for a replacement, because I do not have a Daybreak or a Dominator Pendant to replace it at the moment. And the trend does not slow down. We were soloing a C10 on week 3, and we got an ET drop. This is absolutely insane. This character's RNG just does not slow down. It just continues to eat and eat and eat every single week. So we decided to go and Star Force this ET, and well, this happened. The long one, it's a long one. We get 2 taps with it. Oh my god. Hold! Oh my god. It didn't deserve it, boys. I'm
You're lucker.
It didn't deserve it, boys. Like, I'm with y'all.
Oh my god.
I'm with y'all. This character's RNG is just insane, and it is absolutely unstoppable, but I was really hoping for this item to go to 22 stars because I really wanted the damage for the Black Mage solo. Now, since the last episode as well, we did make a few level upgrades. We got to level 278, and I did want to go to level 280 on this character, but I realized that it was a bit of overkill to hyper push the character to level 280 because it is a Legion champion character, and I knew that if I got to level 280, it would be a bit of overkill because there is still a bit of time until the Legion champion system does release. So for the time being, this character will be sitting at level 278 and just leveling up through dailies. So I want to go over the current gear of this character at the moment and where we currently are sitting at. We did end up getting the guild totems, which is a lot of easy free damage. We are sitting on a 22-star slime ring, a 22-star ET, a 22-star Superior Golux Pendant, continuous 3, just a regular cup, 17-star source, 22-star Superior Pendant, 22-star Arcane weapon, which will transfer the pot and flame over into the Jenny weapon when that does happen, a 21-star reinforced belt. We are currently sitting on 21 CRAs because, like I said in prior videos, I do want to hyper push the Eternals, so these will be sitting at 21 stars and being replaced by 18-star Eternals when we do get to that point. 22-star Twilight Mark, a 20-star Black Bean Mark, 21-star CRA, and all the arcanes currently are sitting at 16 and 17 stars. The Superior Earring sitting at 22 stars. Shoulder double prime 16, gloves double crit damage Of course, the Fairy Heart, just regular 3-line, and then the Arcane Cape sitting at 17 stars. And then, of course, as you guys all know, the emblem is currently sitting at double prime as well. Also, for those that are wondering, the CP is currently sitting at 106 mil, and the Hexa is looking like this. We have 26 mastery, 24 mastery, level 3 origin, level 7, 1, 1, and 1 Hexa skills. And then our Hexa stat, we have both level 1 and level 2 Hexa stat completed, sitting at 4, 6, 10, and the second one sitting at 3, 10, and 7. So with this current gear, we have been doing normal Kalos, and we have been doing easy calling as well. We're currently sitting at 5 pieces for Kalos, and we are sitting at 3 of the half fragments for calling. It's crazy how much damage you can gain in a character if you really hyper push levels. Levels are one of the biggest assets for damage because it gives you that level bonus, and it also allows you to gain those symbols very quickly. So if I were to give anybody recommendations for what they should do for their Legion Kit champion, it's always to hyper push those levels until you're around level 275, because it just gives you so much damage. So after getting all these level upgrades and all these gear upgrades, we decided to go into our biggest challenge yet, and that was going to be Black Mage. Now, Black Mage, as you guys all know, is probably one of the most difficult bosses to solo in this game to date. Although you do go into this boss with 12 lives, there are so many mechanics in this boss that can just strip away your lives extremely fast. As some of you guys do know, there's a mechanic like no other in Black Mage, and that is called the curse system. And if you have a white curse and you get hit by something else that gives you a black curse, it is an instant life loss. So even though you are sitting with 12 lives, it's very easy to lose lives very quickly in this boss. So how did I go about actually approaching this boss? Well, there is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. And in phase 1, you have White Mage and the Black Mage, and you have to kill both of them to exit out of P1. Now, the challenging part about P1 is that there are 2 of them, and they give you the opposite curses. And like I explained earlier, if you get both curses at the same time, you will lose a life. So P1 was going to be our biggest challenge. And this took a lot of practice to actually learn how to get out of this phase without tanking a bunch of lives. But Zero is super good at being able to keep the boss bound for an extended period of time, and that is what we learned to do in P1. It took us a lot of attempts, but we did finally get out of Black Mage with a healthy 12 lives. Once we got out of P1, it was learning P2, and this is really where Zero excels. You're really able to greed a ton of damage, and because Zero has such good movement and has a ton of survivability, Black Mage P2 is very easy to get the hang of, and we're actually able to get out of this phase as well, very healthy with 12 lives. Now, P3 is where the real fight starts in Black Mage, and this is where there's a lot of things going on, and it's very easy to lose a lot of lives. One of the most difficult mechanics to actually master in Black Mage P3 is going to be the kick mechanic. The P3 kick mechanic essentially is where Black Mage will do this kick animation, and if you do get hit by this kick animation, it will give you a white curse. Now, the difficult thing about this is that everything around you in Black Mage P3 is going to be giving you a black curse. So if you have a black curse and you get kicked by Black Mage, you actually are going to take a life. And it is very easy to throw away a lot of lives in Black Mage P3 if you are trying to greed damage. And this is what took the most amount of practice for me on the Zero. And as some of you guys do know, Zero is a combo class, and sometimes trying to get those combos off will cost you a ton of lives. Now, this took a bit of time to learn the actual timings of things, but we did get it down, and we did end up getting out of Black Mage P3. Once Once I got out of Black Mage P3, we entered into P4, and again, like P2, this is really where Zero excels. You're able to greed a ton of damage, and because Zero has 2 HP bars, it's very easy to stay alive. In P4, you're not really going to take any curse deaths at all, and it's all going to be HP deaths, which is really where Zero excels in. This class has a ton of great mobility, a ton of iframes, and very, very, very good survivability as well. So after days and days of practice, we finally were able to defeat Black Mage. This was a 50-minute solo, and by no means was this absolutely optimized. I'm still learning the class and learning how to efficiently get off damage on this class, but I will say this is one of the best classes that I've ever played in the game. This class, from the survivability, the kit, the support that it gives, and just the overall damage output, is unmatched by no other class. It's absolutely insane that within these 60 days we've been able to solo all the way up to Black Mage, and of course the journey does not stop here. We still have a few more bosses left to solo, and that is going to be Saren and potentially normal Kalos. Now it's going to take a little bit of time to get to those damage thresholds, but with time we will end up getting there. There's not a lot of things that I can do from this point on to hyper push the progression of this character, but I am very excited to get to that point to be able to actually solo those bosses. Now, this has been a ton of fun in the last 60 days, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the progression series of this character. Like I said before, it does not stop here. We still have a few more bosses left to solo. Zero is an absolutely amazing class, and I absolutely would recommend it to a lot of people who are wondering if they should play it. If you want a class that is challenging, has very good survivability, has an amazing kit, I absolutely would recommend it. It is a ton of fun, and the class is extremely strong. And yeah, it's absolutely insane that we've been able to get to this point within 60 days. We'll see how much further we can push this character in the short term, but for now, that is going to wrap up the 60-day progression of this character. I hope you guys have enjoyed this progression series, and until the next one, I will see you then. Take it easy. Peace.